Okay, so hopefully you guys see me and hopefully this is a good lighting, but I'm on my break right now. So basically I kind of want to make a quick little video about like, what is schizophrenia and like what it does to me and like my brain chemistry. So basically with schizophrenia, and I'm not wearing my neck piece as I usually do, and I feel like I need to have it on to show you guys that I'm connected with myself. I'm trying to like kind of live a day normal as a human. I'm just kidding. It's like I need that pressure point to kind of align myself, but with schizophrenia, it changes your mindset on how you view things, and I kind of want to go in depth, and this is going to be a short little video. And if you wanted to know more information like on how it affected me and like what an episode feels like, just let me know and I can make like a full-length video on my YouTube channel. And if you guys are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. Yeah, I'm making short little videos and like also videos that are longer format of what I'm talking about, or just like other content and other music that I'm going to get into, because like I do have a music background as well. So I'm going to start making my own music with my own voice. Right now I'm just using AI to utilize like my thought process and like how my brain thinks and computes, and I just kind of use my lyrics, but the AI voice kind of expresses it differently on what I was originally intended for, but it just sounds cooler with AI. But with schizophrenia, basically I want to give a full picture of like what it felt like to me when I was first diagnosed. And my first diagnosis was in 2020, like right because COVID happened, and then like literally a year later schizophrenia happened, and literally it felt like I went to sleep and I woke up just fearing for my life. Like I literally thought someone was out to get me, and I just didn't know what it was or who it was or what even it was in general. Like even if it was like in this dimension, I just felt like something was after me and I was fearful for my life. I just couldn't express what was actually going on because like I didn't want to seem like I was crazy. In that moment, it felt like I was crazy because I couldn't express like what I was really feeling like. And even talking to a therapist, therapy at the time was not helpful, and even therapy today is still not helpful in my case, because it seems like I'm just talking to someone who doesn't understand what I'm going through, and it seems like they're trying to help me, and I know they are trying to help me, but it seems like they don't understand. And even with how I am making my content, you guys don't understand fully how my brain operates, and my brain operates at like not a supercomputer, I'm just kidding, but like it that's why like I fumble with my words and I say things backwards of what I intended to say, and I don't know why it's like that. And I made a song which it's called Mars Kid, and I did say talk backwards like Yoda, because he talks backwards, but if you actually understand what he's saying. And also and if you think about like a different language, like Korean for example, so it's structured different than American. I can't talk. So basically it's just like, so you would say I, and then I think the noun and then the verb, but in American English oh my god, so in English, see what I mean? So in English you would say like so like say like I went to the store, but in a different language it's like I store went. So it's just like kind of in that instance of like how I'm talking, and it's just like I'm not speaking another language, but it's just like I'm just like fumbling over my words in English, kind of restructuring of how I'm actually speaking. Maybe if I was speaking in a different language like Korean, it would kind of help me and understand of like a different perspective of language in that instance. But that's just an example. The heck? Okay, anyways. But in that instance, so like schizophrenia, that was like my first episode, and I had to be prescribed medication. So I was on olanzapine and sertraline. So olanzapine is it really kind of like made me sane in that instance when I was like insane, but I am still taking that medicine to this day. And then with sertraline, it was more of like for the anxiety. So basically it's just like a 2-for-1 type of thing that I got just handed to me, but I'm taking it as a gift, honestly, because like from the universe, because like since that happened, I'm so grateful that I do have this different mindset and this and I come from a creative background, because like even with these sleeves, I got it from like Boss, because like I'm working at Boss obviously, but this was so this was my very first sports coat that I ever got when I first got hired here, because I'm like, I want to be initiated into this culture of this luxury side of fashion. And Boss is not a luxury brand, it's a premium brand, but it's the thought of like having like my own sports coats, because like I would have never thought I would have like my own sports coat in the first place, or even like these shoes, like these are Boss shoes, like come on, like I would never thought to have these. Like this is boss, this is boss. This is like a polo shirt that I got, not a polo shirt, a long sleeve collared shirt that I just cut the collar off and made it more of like a standing collar type of thing. It's kind of giving like a futuristic vibe, especially with how I'm wearing it. If I were to stand up, you guys can see like the vision of where I'm going with this. But with this, like I just cut the sleeve off because like if I wear something so many times, I don't want to be an outfit repeater. And I literally just said this to someone, like I will retire the clothes to give it new life, kind of like, so retire, so I would just like literally just get rid of it, like literally just like deconstruct it to make it something different. That's my definition of retiring, to give it new life and like also wear it in a different way, because like I have like a creative mindset and I have a young mindset and I want to be innovative with how I'm dressing, because like I have a back brace that I'm wearing, and I was wearing it as a corset, but literally my manager was like, you can't wear like that. Like, bro, it's a back brace. Like, she said it was cool and everything like that, and I want to show you guys on what it looked like of how I was actually like presenting myself, because like I'm in Bellevue and I want to be like, this is basically like the bougie and like the fashion area, and I'm like, I work in fashion, so it's just like I want to be fashionable. I want to express that. Maybe I should move to New York or LA or something like that, but I think New York would be like the better option, or even overseas. I'm looking for other options in places to work, because like I want to be able to experience different cultures, and just being fashion forward and like being able to express myself like visually and like presenting myself in a way that actually is respectable and in work professional, because like I like that. I come from a fashion background, if you can't tell. Like I love fashion, and it's just kind of like hard to communicate of how much I love fashion, and I want to be the next person, kind of like Dior, how he did the new look with the dress. I can show a picture of what I mean, because he created that look, and it's like the new look, and I want to be able to do something like that as like the new look in this current era that we're living in. This is just not the new look, obviously, but this is just something that I wanted to express myself and wear today, because I thought it was unique. And what do you guys think? Looks pretty cool. Stand up. But anyways, so back to schizophrenia. So I've had about like, I would say 3 to 4 episodes. So the first 2 episodes were the rough ones, and like I said, I can also do like a simulation of what it's like to have schizophrenia as well, because I think it's like a very important like learning point of like how it really affects your mind, because like with me specifically, I can show you what it did to me, because I have it very vividly of what it actually happened to me, and I can express it in a way that is a way that you can comprehend of like what I was going through in that instance, because it really felt like I was actually speaking to like another presence during the first episode. And I know I was like kind of like, I don't know how to say it, and it really felt like I was actually like communicating, or like I was like being visited by a presence, and it was kind of like watching over me and taking care of me. But I was just fearful in that moment because I didn't know what it was. And I think of like the biblical saying, be not afraid, and in that moment I was afraid, because I'm like, I don't know what the heck is going on. So and sorry if I'm talking too fast, I'm just trying to like speed this up. Here, let me say this real quick. Okay, so basically I just wanted to like express like how I was feeling, and I can do like a simulation video on that. But like during my second episode, that's when I went back home, because my ex, like we split. But that was like the worst episode, because I was going to hospitals, like it was Airbnb, like literally I was going to hospital, like they literally sent me away. And I was like, bro, I didn't know what was going on, because for each place that I was staying at, like no one understood where I was going. They thought I was just like crazy nut house person. And I even made a song called Asylum, because like in my mind I felt like I was in asylum, like an endless repeat of an asylum. And I think of the movie Sucker Punch, which I relate to that so much, because like I feel like I was Baby Doll in that instance, but I feel like I was all the characters, especially Baby Doll, Rocket, and Sweet Pea. I felt like I was all 3 of them. And if you haven't seen that movie, or if you have seen that movie, like I would like to talk about that movie, because that movie means a lot to me, and I watched that movie so many times. But anyways, even with like the music that Baby Doll was like, you know, experiencing when she was dancing, and that's why I kind of relate to Baby Doll, because like when she was when the music was playing, she was in her own dimension, and then like I was in her, when I listened to music in itself. And that's why with like schizophrenia, it affected how my brain thinks of music. And I had taken a music course and everything like that, so I know like the kick, snare, 1, 2, or the 1 and 2 and 3. Like I know more about music, and it actually helped me with dance, that I can actually like I'm also a go-go dancer as well, so I'm gonna actually make content on that, like how I dance and how I like process like the information from the DJ playing, and how I can like actually like sync to the music. And then the way that I sync to the music is kind of like, I don't know if you know of like the Vocaloids. So it's kind of interesting how the world is going to like AI, but the Vocaloids kind of did it first when they weren't real, they were robotic voices. But now that I know that K-pop, there's Mavis, there's Mav, M-A-V-E, Pandora, that song. So like, I mean, like it's like computer generated, but I mean the Vocaloids did it first, and I relate more to the Vocaloids because like there's a specific move on what they do, and I can also do a video on this as well. And like I'm getting excited about this because I'm just rambling, but I can sync to the music kind of like how they can in that instance. And it sounds crazy, but just bear with me. It's like I can like honestly kind of like, I'm honestly feeling like my own Vocaloid in my own way, kind of like Len. I would consider myself Len, but I'm like the Black Ken, you know. There's always Barbie, but where's Ken? But anyways, that's just something else. But yeah, with my second episode, like since I was going to hospital, I made a pact with myself and a vow that I'm never, ever going to get to that state of just breaking away from reality and not being able to control it. And I am taking like my stance on, I will show you that I will overcome schizophrenia, but not use it as a crutch, but use it as an empowering tool. Because like I think it's really cool that I have schizophrenia. It's something that's unique. And most people, they can't even speak of anything like that, of like the experience that they've gone through. A lot of people do have like mental illnesses, but like with schizophrenia, in my case, like it really affected me and even my family, to the point where it's just like they didn't know what was going on with me, and I was saying just random stuff. But the way that I think of it, I think I say things in that instance, but when months or years go by, I replay in my mind on why I said the things that I said, and there's a reason to why I said the things that I said. It's just that like I was probably like, I don't know, I feel like I was like my future self saying things to like the present self, but the present self wasn't comprehending of what I was actually meaning. Kind of like you know, the Terminator, of like from the future, they're trying to like warn the present, but the present people are not comprehending of what the future person's saying. That's kind of what I was going for. That's that metaphor. I think that's the word. So I think that's like of what I'm going at, and kind of explaining of what I mean. And I'm gonna spice this up because it's kind of getting a little bit long. But I feel like, I don't know, things are aligning in itself that I think is very magic, and it feels like a miracle in my eyes. And like even with my appearance right now, people are laughing at me, especially with how I'm presenting myself, especially men. And I don't know why men are just the way that they are. Maybe it's just challenging their masculinity. I don't care for that, because like, who cares? Because if you think of Bad Bunny, like he's honestly like challenging like masculinity in that instance, but it's cool when he does it. But when a regular person like me, that's kind of expressing themselves in like a very fashionable way, and maybe kind of takes on like the feminine traits a little bit, it's laughable. And I don't understand that. I'm not sure what the lighting is. Maybe it's a little dark. I don't know, but in my opinion, it's kind of ridiculous, and I don't know why the world's like this, especially with men. And I think I'm gonna, you know, trying to get on the girly pop sides, you know, trying to like understand like females, because like I want to actually know like the female form, and actually how to like cater to women, especially how they dress, especially like the younger generation, because like I want to know what's trendy with their perspective. Because like I come from like a guy's perspective, and I know fashion, but like from a girl's perspective, like how do they view me? Like, what do you see in me that is different, that's odd, or weird? I want to know. And that's just something that's interesting that I kind of want to take away and kind of like do my own social experiment. And that's what I'm doing right now as well. Like, I'm my own social experiment, and just like seeing what people are paying attention to. Because like even with like the neck piece that I had, which I don't have currently, which I need, I'm just like taking information, taking data, and just like taking observations of like what people are paying attention to, but people are paying attention to like their phone. And it's just like, okay, I want people to actually look up from their phone and actually pay attention, which people are, but I am just, you know, just taking note about that. But anyways, back to schizophrenia. So with schizophrenia, so the third and fourth episode, they were more of like a controlled state, but they were more of a state of like, I don't know how to say it. It was more like, I would say controlled, because like I was like, okay, I know that I'm experiencing it, but I know how to take care of myself, because like I only have myself to take care of myself. I mean, I have my family obviously, but like I need to learn how to take care of myself in order to like, for that to not happen, to get to the past. I want to go to the future of how I can like be better, but actually learn from the schizophrenia. And I treat it like an episode, which is an episode, but I treat it as like my own anime episode, and I treat my life as a video game. I don't know if you can hear me, because I treat my life as like a video game in that instance, because like honestly with schizophrenia, from my past 2 episodes, life literally did feel like a video game, and I was just like the driver. I was the passenger princess in my own body, and I just felt like things were just happening, but I want to take control of like myself and like my own being, and I want to actually share that to you and actually show you what it's like to have schizophrenia, just from my mindset, and it's just like a video like journal in that way, like a video simulation, but that's just like where my mind is going, and I'm on my break right now, and I'm just rambling and rapping. Rambling and yapping. You see what I mean? I say that backwards. I just literally said I said yambling and rapping, and I meant rambling and yapping. I don't know why my brain does that, but it's kind of funny that it does that, and there's a reason why, and I don't know why. See how my brain just operates. But yeah, so that's the little video. But yeah, I'm Zeno Crosswell, and yeah, thank you for watching this video.